The 2014 legislative session adjourned in March. How did you spend your interim?
When session ended in 2014, it was an opportunity for me to go out and meet with constituents regarding what had taken place over the 2014 session and address some concerns for things that maybe didn't make it through and hear their concerns for where they believe the state of Washington is heading on various other related topics and bring those concerns here for this legislative session.
Back in December, Governor Inslee issued his budget proposals, which would implement significant tax increases. What are your thoughts on his proposals?
You know, the governor has had the same message for quite some time, and it continues down the line of we need to increase our spending, and in order to increase our spending, we need to implement tax increases. And that conversation has been taking place here for quite some time, and it's quite concerning. You know, our economy is improving, and during this period of time when it is improving, we don't want to go backwards. We don't want to jeopardize that improvement by increasing our taxes at this point in time. It's just crucial that we don't move forward with that. And the governor proposed implementing tax increases for a gas tax, a low carbon fuel standard, and a capital gains tax. And when you talk about those three just by themselves, that's really not very good for, at least in my district, the 2nd district, which is a pretty rural district, but I don't see it as really being that great for the state as a whole.
What committees will you be serving on during the 2015 legislative session, and what are some of your top priorities?
So I'm going to be serving on the Business and Financial Services Committee. I will continue to serve on the Labor and Workforce Development Committee, of which I'm assistant ranking, and I'm going to continue serving on the Appropriations Committee. During the interim, a topic that was continually brought up was concerning privacy information. Our constituents are really concerned with the data that the agencies are collecting, how that data is being used, what data is being collected, and then ultimately how that data is being stored and safeguarded. So I'm going to continue to address those concerns as we move forward in this legislative session. In addition to that, we have concerns regarding how to make Washington State a more business-friendly state, but not just for businesses, but also for employees, so that people want to live here, families want to be here, people are encouraged to open up small businesses and continue to do work here in Washington State.
You're co-sponsoring a bill that would provide B&O tax credits for businesses that hire veterans. Tell me more about that.
You know, during the interim, I was able to spend a significant amount of time with the commanders out at the Joint Base Lewis McChord, which is not in our district. Some of the statistics that I heard from the commander out there were pretty alarming, including how much the Army spends, just the Army, nationwide on unemployment insurance. The concerns that the military has for soldier transition, especially now that the military is downsizing. There is going to be an influx of troops that are going to be coming back from deployment, or even that are stationed CONUS here in the United States and call Washington home that are now going to be returning home. And then you have the soldiers that are going to be staying here and calling Washington home rather than moving somewhere else. All of those soldiers are potentially going to be flooding the job market. Unemployment is hovering right around 6-7% within our district. And as the job market becomes more competitive and has this influx of soldiers that are going to be coming in, I really want to use this opportunity and partner with some of the local military installations to figure out a way to encourage job creation. And that encouragement of job creation is the reason why we're sponsoring this bill, because this bill will allow businesses not only encourage them to hire a veteran, but more importantly, because of the tax credits, encourage them to expand when they otherwise wouldn't. Encourage them to hire when they maybe weren't in a position to hire, which is job creation. And I'm hoping that this will also encourage rural economic development. You know, the 2nd district is a commuting district. We are folks that travel to Seattle or travel to Tacoma or travel to Olympia to go to work. I would really love to see a reverse commute start to happen in the 2nd legislative district. That is where we have employers that decide that they want to expand, moving into the 2nd district and hiring not only the second district employees, but creating a reverse commute where people from Seattle or Olympia or Tacoma are driving into our communities and driving the revenue base up in our local cities and further developing our local economies.